Hi guys, it's Sherry Ward from Square Tree Publishing with your next tip. And today, this one is a shout out to all of you fiction writers. So if you are a fiction writer, this one's for you. The topic that we're going to be talking about today is increasing conversion rates on your fiction books. It's a fancy way of saying how are you going to collect an email list. Email lists are so incredibly important because once you get those email lists, you can do a ton of things with them. So what we're going to talk about today is for the fiction and how to take it out of the Amazon ecosystem, which I know a lot of fiction writers are on Amazon. How do we get it out of the Amazon ecosystem and into yours? We want to take the authors and drive them deeper into your story. So step number one is don't write a random story, a random one just to collect an email. It won't always work because it's so random. What you want to do is take them deeper into the world that you've currently got them. How many of us have binged out on movies on Netflix or Hulu? It's like we just keep watching it and we want more and more and more. Well, the same is true for your books. They're going to want to go deeper on your books. So what you don't want to do is don't do a random one. You want to do one that's specific for your book. And I give credit for Dave Chesson on this, and he calls it the Kobayashi Maru. Now, for all of you Star Trek fans, you're going to know what this is. It's the ship that Captain Kirk had to test on, and it was a no-win situation. So he had this test, and it was called the Kobayashi Maru. And so, they kept referring to it in the movies throughout the years, the Kobayashi Maru, and this, and that, and the Kobayashi Maru. So they were teasing you with it, but you never saw it until years later in another movie. They finally showed the Kobayashi Maru. So that's what you can do in your books as well. You can say, hey, go through your entire book, and then at one section you can talk about the Kobayashi Maru. But in order to get that information on it, they have to go off of the book and into your ecosystem, sign up on an email list, and then they'll get more information about the Kobayashi Maru. Let me give you a second example. Say that you wrote a fiction book and it had to do with the back setting was at a cabin up in the mountains, and you kept going, you remember what happened when you were up in that cabin in the mountains. You never quite tell them what happened, but you go, something must have happened that was really bad up there that shifted this character. But yet it's not enough that it's going to change the storyline. They can keep going through the story and they will finish the story. But then what you do is you say, hey, do you want to know what happened in that cabin? Sign up and I'll let you know what happened in that cabin. And then at that point, you've got their email. An email, like I said, is so important. You can give them offers. You can make offers to them. You can give them swag on the emails. You can give them a newsletter on that as well. So email is so important. And when is the best time to start an email list? Yesterday. So start building your email list now. So every extra thing that you create, make sure that you're asking for those emails. You can also put them in a group. Say that you've got a Facebook group. You can pull them into a Facebook group as well, because that's a huge thing right now is Facebook groups. So, people that were your raving fans, maybe you want to do that with them as well. So those are some of the ideas for the fiction writers. And so what I want you to do is your homework this week is if you are a fiction writer, I want you to think about what short story you're going to write that directly applies to your book that you can pull your readers into your email list. And write it down below in the link because it helps us as a community to see what other people are doing. And it gives us all ideas, and then all boats float. So we get to help each other out. So until next week, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.